The House of Kuru, Part 2, Chapter 20, Cloak and Dagger, Kanika's Council. Days passed and Dhritarashtra kept postponing the coronation, citing auspicious dates, omens, and sometimes just changing the topic whenever Vidura brought it up. Vidura, a man of keen intellect and investigative skills, knew that something was off. After the fifth time of requesting the coronation date and having the topic abruptly changed, he knew something was off. He learned through intuition that Shakuni had placed a spy outside of Dhritarashtra's bedchamber. He organized a spy called Yudhishtira to observe the king. A dangerous feat for anyone because spying on the emperor of Hastinapura meant certain death. But Vidura had no choice, and he trusted Yudhishtira with absolute certainty. Every day, the spy would stand outside the king's bedchamber pretending to be a god, while listening intently to the conversations occurring inside the chamber. Shakuni, Vidura keeps pestering me, day after day, for news on the coronation. What shall we do? Asked Dhritarashtra one evening after a particularly nagging request from Vidura. Your Majesty, we still need more time to execute the latter half of my plan, said Shakuni. It has already been 3 months. Soon the entire town will be asking for a date. I cannot push much longer, insisted Dhritarashtra. Just what is your next plan, Shakuni? I crave to know. Do tell, commanded Dhritarashtra. My lord, as long as the Pandavas exist, there will always be a threat to the kingdom and your sons. Bhima can slaughter all 100 children born by my sister. Therefore, my king, I intend to kill them first, said the Prince of Gandhara flatly. What? Roared Dhritarashtra. Why, you never told me you were planning on murder, yelled Dhritarashtra, loud enough for Yudhishtira the spy to hear, and now the spy kept his ears intently planted on the conversation. Your Majesty, what did you think would happen once Yudhishtira ascends the lion throne? On the day you debated this, everyone in the throne room bearing Karna sided towards the son of Pandu, said Shakuni, and Dhritarashtra, now calmed down, stated, but I never wanted them dead. No, this kingdom was donated to me by my brother as he left for the forest. Now you are asking me to kill his sons? No. Do you not see that the son is an incarnate of the father? It would be akin to slaughtering Pandu himself. No, I will not slaughter the sons of Pandu. Think of another method by which my son ascends the lion throne, commanded the king of Hastinapura. Shakuni moved closer to Dritarashtra and spoke softly. The spy had to work hard to hear the conversation. Your Majesty, your naivety would be the end of you. This is the practice of kingly politics, said Shakuni. But Dhritarashtra refused to budge. No death! I cannot and will not permit you to slaughter the children of Pandu, insisted the king. And Shakuni understood that the king was adamant on this. The king needed someone to grease his mind. My lord, what you say is final, but please listen to a wise minister in my throne. His name is Kanika, and I will have him brought to you, and listen to his advice and then consider my words, said Shakuni, and he left the king's bedchamber. Yudhishtira immediately left for Vidura's house as soon as Shakuni had departed and told him everything. I should have known. Dhritarashtra's love for the throne would ensure that only his son ascends, said Vidura to Yudhishtira. Kanika is a vile, unscrupulous and evil minister, native to Gandhara. If indeed Shakuni has summoned him, I am certain it is to poison the king's mind, said Vidura, as Yudhishtira nodded in agreement. Yudhishtira, what you are doing is the highest good, but be very, very careful. Neither Shakuni nor Suyodhana must even suspect, let alone know, that you are spying. Death for spies is very slow and very painful, warned Vidura. Fear not, minister. I am well versed in the art of espionage. I am indeed indebted to the sons of Pandu, as they protected me once before. I will do this right, said Drishta, and the two engaged in a long embrace, as Drishta went back to his position as Dhritarashtra's chamber guard. The feats of the sons of Pandu did not uplift Dhritarashtra's mood. Arjuna expanded the empire from Hastinapura by conquering the king of Yavanas, a feat that even Pandu was unable to perform. He then turned his attention to the east and waged a war with the eastern kingdoms, bringing them all under the vassalship of the empire. Bhima took further tuition on perfecting the mace with Balarama, the elder brother of Lord Krishna. Suyodhana was also his student, and more often than not, Bhima would easily and effectively defeat Suyodhana. All these incidents only added to Dhritarashtra's continued fear that his sons were in immediate danger under the leadership of Yudhishtira. Finally, in the middle of the night, Shakuni approached the bedchamber of the emperor, with a frail yet steady man following him. The man, dressed with a red turban and cream robes, followed a black-draped, black-turbaned person. Drishta at once understood that the second person was none other than the famed Kanika, the minister and vizier of Gandhara, and Shakuni was leading him into the bedchamber of the king. Picking up his spear, he declared to the rest of the guards that he was going to do guard duty outside the king's bedchamber, and quickly followed the duo to the king's bedchamber. Drishta, being a competent spy that he was, managed to sneak directly into the bedchamber and place himself in a position which allowed him the best audible clarity while maintaining his discretion. "And I will leave you with my best counselor Kanika," said the dark-robed figure dressed in all black, and Drishta made out that that was none other than Shakuni. Shakuni then led himself out of the bedchamber, and now only Kanika and Dhritarashtra were present. "Dear Kanika, on behalf of the Empire of Hastinapura, thank you for your counsel," said a familiar voice, which Drishta surmised to be Dhritarashtra. "I am plagued with a disease, the disease of fear, my friend. The children of Pandu, the Pandavas, are in every way better than my sons. They are loved by the people. They are revered by the sages. Their prowess overshadows every hero on earth. Tell me, should I make peace with them or should I wage war?" asked the emperor of Hastinapura. Kanika nodded. "Dear king, your situation is not new. Listen to my counsel, but do not give way to anger upon hearing it, my king. A king is one who invokes fear upon his subjects. He brings terror to his nemesis and respect amongst his people. This can only be done with the mace or the sword. Therefore, O king, do not hesitate to take the mace when necessary. O king, one must slaughter anyone who possesses even a meek threat to your kingdom, be it your own son, brother, father, wife, or even a spiritual preceptor. If anyone becomes your enemy, think not for a moment and slaughter them. This will bring peace and happiness to you and your kingdom," said Kanika. As Dhritarashtra gasped, "Kill my own son, my wife or preceptor?" asked Dhritarashtra as Kanika nodded. "Yes, my king. A foe is a foe, and anyone who dares to make you a foe deserves only death, my lord," said Kanika. "If your enemy is very powerful, then kill them in subtle ways, in ways which they will not suspect their demise. If they are meek, then slaughter them immediately. That way you will always remain ahead of your enemies," said Kanika, as Dhritarashtra sported a puzzled look on his face. "I am, O king, the best in the art of politics, and let me assure you, one less threat is one less worry on that wrinkled face. Trust me as I tell you, Murder of your enemies will bring peace, continued Kanika, as Yudhishtira sported a horrified look on his face. Though he was warned about the people of Gandhara and their ability to see death as a common occurrence, Yudhishtira did not think it would be this obvious. Kanika spent the whole night swaying King Dhritarashtra's mind, and well into the early hours of the morning, Shakuni arrived just before dawn. Dear Kanika, have you tutored our king in the ways of our politics? Is he now wise in the ways of kings? Asked Shakuni, as Kanika smiled and nodded. Dhritarashtra, though puzzled, chose to remain silent. Go to sleep, my king. Sleep on this, and you will see clarity when you wake, said Shakuni, as he led Kanika out of his bedchambers. Yudhishtira quickly got out of the king's bedchambers and fled to Vidura's house, and informed him of everything. Vidura nodded. Yes, I have heard of Kanika. He calls himself a Brahmana, but is worse than a Rakshasa. Who knows how poisoned the mind of the king is now, said Vidura, as Yudhishtira nodded. Thank you, Yudhishtira. You have done wonderfully, said Vidura, and Yudhishtira nodded and left. A minister of Gandhara espouses death to his enemies? That sounds very brutal, O Guru Vaishampayana. Yes, dear Sishya, yes, my student. You see, a king is only as good as the advisors that advise him. Poor advice usually leads to poor leadership. And that is why one must always surround oneself with righteous and virtuous people. Dhritarashtra chose to surround himself with the worst people imaginable, said Vaishampayana. Janamejaya thanked his guru for teaching him the tale of the Bharata and keeping him on the path of virtue.